Welcome back to Second Take. I know it's been a while. We were busy with finals. Armand just got home. Now I am in Colorado. The break has begun, which is great. Armand, how are you?
Good, can't complain. Finally home. Spent most of the day watching football. Interesting weekend of football, rather. I'm sure we'll be discussing a lot about that. But yeah, good to be home, good to relax, have nothing to do. School is out for the time being, so I am feeling good.
Yes. Okay. I do need to start off by congratulating Kobe Bryant for passing Michael Jordan's scoring record. Such a huge accomplishment. A lot of people are giving him hate for it, mainly Reggie Miller saying the MJ at his worst or something like that. Just ridiculous. I'm ignoring him. Reggie Miller, when was the last time you did something? Thank you. And so congrats to Kobe. Everyone else was proud of him. So, more to come, even though the Lakers are not winning. Another thing I want to talk about is Adrian Peterson did appeal his decision, the suspension by the NFL, and he was rejected that appeal. Now he is contemplating retiring, which is just, this whole thing has just gotten so out of hand and unnecessary. Why would you want probably the best running back that we've ever seen to retire because of this ridiculous allegation? But yet Ray Rice was allowed back into the NFL. He's not on a team, but he's still allowed back. I just think there's such a weird double standard going on right now, and Adrian Peterson, please don't retire. We love watching you play. We love it.
Yeah, you definitely make an interesting point how Ray Rice is being treated the way he is compared to the way Adrian Peterson is being treated. But I understand why Adrian Peterson would want to retire. I mean, if the NFL is going to treat him the way they are, then I wouldn't want to be a part of the organization anymore. If Ray Rice gets to knock a woman out in an elevator and he gets to come back and I discipline my kid in a way that some people don't see as appropriate, but I can't come back as soon as he is, I wouldn't want to deal with it either. Like, it's just not fair. It's a double standard, as you said. So hopefully Adrian Peterson comes back. I like him a lot as a player. I would love to see him in another team's jersey because I doubt the Vikings will take him back. But it's just a very unfortunate situation that's become a lot more extreme than it needs to be.
No, exactly. Like I said, unnecessary. Adrian Peterson, please come back. If you don't want to be on the Vikings, the Eagles, we have like a really good running game if you want to join in. I guess I should just dive into NFL right now. We're talking about it. Stop making that face at me. Armand's making a face at me because last weekend my Eagles lost to the Cowboys, which we should have won. And then last night, on Saturday Night Football, we lost to the Redskins, which just should never have happened. And the issue, okay, let me say this. I am extremely impressed by Mark Sanchez and how he has played for us. He doesn't have the best record with us, and I understand that. But Mark Sanchez, he was kind of seen as like, oh, Mark Sanchez, like, oh, you got stuck with him. And he really overcame all of that adversity and played very well this season, especially having to come in out of nowhere because Nick Foles got hurt. And Nick Foles is an amazing quarterback. If we still had him, it'd be playoffs, no question. So all great job by Mark Sanchez. I really, he's been great. Tight end, Zach Ertz has been amazing. J-Mac, still great. But the fact that we missed 2 field goals in this big of a game, okay, I'm looking at an NFL kicker, and it is literally your job to kick that ball through the uprights. That is all you have to do on a daily basis. That is your job. If you can't do that, why are you in the NFL? There are plenty of people who will be good enough to kick that through the uprights, but you're going to miss it. He missed like a 20-something yard field goal and a 40-something. One was close and one was just like way wide right. And I'm sitting there like, how are you paid to do this and you're still missing? In college it's more acceptable. It's like, okay, it's just a regular college student. But these are guys who are hand selected by NFL teams to be their kicker, and they still can't make it. And that can be a game changer. RG3 did play last night because Colt McCoy actually got injured. So I'm hoping my boy Colt bounces back. Hopefully he'll be starting next season. RG3 did, decently well. They did get the win, but I don't think that game was, representative of who the Eagles are. And I don't think it's fair that, now we're in this situation where we're not making the playoffs because we need Dallas to win today, and Armand's Colts just cannot pull off this win against Dallas right now, and I'm here begging Indianapolis to win this game.
Well, Indianapolis is sitting pretty at the top of their division. They're going to be in the playoffs, so we don't need to play hard anymore. We'll be fine. It does suck to see us getting beat so badly by the Cowboys. We'll be okay. Now for the Eagles. Three things. One, Adrian Peterson's never going there. You have LaShawn McCoy and Darren Sproles already. Why would they add another high caliber running back like that? That makes no sense. Adrian Peterson wouldn't.
Okay, well just let me dream. Like why can't you just let me dream? That's kind of rude.
What you can do, you can buy Madden, you can do a fantasy draft, and you can draft Adrian Peterson and LaShawn McCoy and Darren Sproles.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. No, number two. Yes, kickers are paid to kick the ball. That's what they're in the league for. They're a kicker. That's their only role. But no kicker kicks perfectly throughout the season. They're going to miss field goals. It's even though it may seem as though it's easy for them to do because that's what they do, that's what they're paid to do. There's pressure, there's wind, there's a lot of different factors that go into you kicking a field goal, and it's not always going to go in. It's unfortunate that your kicker missed those field goals, but it happens. No kicker is going to go 51-51 throughout the season. They're going to miss some. They come in non-good situations. It sucks. It sucks, but it happens. And third thing, the Eagles just really they always have really good teams, but they can't seem to put it together. There's always something lacking. I was watching ESPN earlier this morning, and they were talking about how the Eagles, they've changed a lot under Chip Kelly. Their offense has become a lot more dynamic, a lot more explosive, but it's not fluid. Like the Eagles are very careless with the ball. They turn the ball over a lot, and you're not going to win with 4 to 5 turnovers every game and penalties. There's a lot of things lacking. A lot of great talent, but they're not technically sound. And you're not going to win with talent, but not playing football the right way you play it. Fumbles, interceptions, penalties, it's not going to happen. So hopefully the Eagles can get it together. It's unfortunate they didn't make the playoffs this year. Everyone was expecting big things from them with Nick Foles coming off a great season last season with the injury. I agree Mark Sanchez did step up, do great things. I didn't expect him to even play this season. I thought he was just picked up as a backup in case Foles got hurt. I didn't expect to see anything out of him, but he really held it down for you guys. But ultimately, the Eagles were disappointing again. So
every year, oh man, this is our year. We got this. I'm the one saying this. Of course I am. We got this. Because you look at it on paper, and we should have this. I mean, Nick Foles, under him we were doing great, but even with Mark Sanchez as quarterback, we still have LaShawn McCoy, Darren Sproles, Jeremy Maclin, Zach Ertz. On paper, this looks like an amazing offense, and it is. And I love Chip Kelly as our coach, and I'm saying next year it really is our year. It really is. If Foles can stay healthy, like this, he's laughing at me. This is our year. Next year, okay? Thought it was this year. Foles got hurt. We had a little miscommunication. He didn't tell me he was going to get hurt, but now I know. Next year, okay? Just said it. Set the record. It's done. Okay, before Armand can insult me, I'm going to move on. Also, another thing.
I'm going to speak, Joe. You sound like every NFC East fan, because the Giants fans always say, oh, this year's going to be our year. The Cowboys fans always say this year's going to be our year. The Redskin fans are always confident that it's going to be their year. The NFC East is just a joke of a division, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say it, but it's a joke of a division. But the Cowboys are looking very good this season, and it's looking like they're going to coast into the playoffs. So Cowboys aren't that much of a joke. They're kind of a chuckle.
The Cowboys are still the Cowboys, and I expect them to crumble in the playoffs because you're looking at the playoff picture. We got the Patriots in it. The Patriots looking good. Broncos, your boy Peyton Manning looking good. We have the Cardinals, who we've been talking about all season, came out of nowhere, just looking good. The Packers made the playoffs again, and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm going to say it like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith say. He is a bad man. And he knows how to play in the playoffs, and I expect them to do well. I don't expect the Cowboys to do well. And you were talking about Chip Kelly's fast-paced offense, and this is something that I don't know if a lot of people know, but when we're playing other teams will fake injuries to be able to slow down the team. That happened when we played the Cowboys last week. Orlando Scandrick faked an injury to stop the clock because we were doing a fast-paced offense. So that shouldn't be allowed, but I mean, we have this weekend and then another weekend, and then we got some playoffs coming up. It should be fun. It should be real good. We might see the Broncos again in the Super Bowl. Maybe this time they won't get obliterated like they did last year, but hey, we'll see. Also, we need to have a shout out to the Chargers. The Chargers overcame a 21-point deficit last night against the 49ers and won in overtime, which is just awesome. I've always liked Phillip Rivers. I think he, like Aaron Rodgers, is a bad man, and he knows how to play. And he did it. And hats off to them, because that was quite a comeback and very impressive.
Yeah, I actually had the time to sit down and watch that game. At first, when I saw that the Chargers down by 21, I was like, why am I going to watch this? Like, I know how it's going to play out. But the 49ers just aren't the team that they were a couple seasons ago. I mean, we saw them go to the NFC Championship a couple seasons ago. The next season, they went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Ravens. Last year, they went to the NFC Championship again. They've always been a really high-powered team in the NFC. This season, the injuries killed them. Colin Kaepernick wasn't playing as well as he was previously. So the Chargers really exposed the 49ers for just not being the high-powered team that they were. Phillip Rivers really got the job done. Antonio Gates looked incredible. Antonio Gates has been playing for, 13, 14 years. He's definitely getting up there in age, but he looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He's still one of the most dominant tight ends to ever play in the NFL, and definitely one of the best tight ends among all these young guys who are doing so great, like Jimmy Graham and Zach Ertz and Jordan Cameron. Antonio Gates is right up there with all of them. So the Chargers really pulled off a great win. They're fighting for the playoffs. It's looking good for them. It depends. They need a couple losses here and there, but it's looking good for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game. So I want to move on to some college football. I don't know if we've gotten to discuss how the playoff picture is looking, but we actually are going to have some good matchups, and I'm expecting we're going to need a second take episode to solely discuss the playoffs. So expect that to be coming up, because we're going to have Florida State versus Oregon and Ohio State versus Alabama, and we are going to need to spend a whole episode talking about this, so I'm not even going to talk about it right now. Bowl season has started. We got like the little horrible games going on right now that no one really cares about. The first ranked game is going to be on the 27th, and that is Arizona State versus Duke and Nebraska versus USC. So if those sound appealing to you, tune right in. Something about college football, I got to do a rant real quick. Jameis Winston was did not get in trouble, did not break the code of conduct as ruled by Florida State. It was announced today for the alleged rape allegations. He also never had to go to jail or had to go to trial. There's no legal issues with it. And then FSU also dropped their investigation, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. This is a shame, and it is a complete failure by not only the local police in Florida, but also the university itself. Because how could you just let this guy off? I promise you, if it was not your Heisman-winning quarterback, it would be a completely different story, because nobody should get away with this. Not Jameis Winston. I don't care if he has a Heisman Trophy, a national championship, or how many wins under his belt, because he committed a crime and he should be, charged with it. And it should definitely be a bigger investigation than it was. He continued to play the entire season. They did not take this allegation seriously at all. A regular school would suspend the player pending investigation. That's what Texas did for our two rape allegations. Those students are no longer part of the University of Texas. That is how you should handle such allegations. And they're not taking it seriously. The school doesn't take it seriously because it's Jameis Winston. He should not have played this season. He was under investigation for a rape charge. That is not some little thing to take lightly, okay? He should have been suspended. And I am disgusted by how the school handled this and how the police handled it. So, yes, I'm going to need Jameis Winston to, get it together. How dare he, think he's above the law and get away with this type of stuff. In Florida State, I'm disgusted by you, because this was a horrible decision on your part.
I don't necessarily blame Jameis Winston for the fact that he was let off. His attorney did a very good job of proving that either he must have proven that Jameis Winston wasn't guilty, because the charges were dropped and he was ruled to not have violated the code of conduct. Jameis Winston was very honest with his account of the night. He wrote a 5-page statement. He explained everything that happened. I don't think he was in the type of position where he would lie. Jameis Winston has caught a lot of slack from people past couple seasons, so I don't really think he would want to make things worse on himself by lying to the authorities and then evidence coming out that he was...
Oh, yes, because so many people are so open to admit that they raped somebody, especially Jameis Winston.
I mean,
Who
I
has
don't.
everything to lose, who has an NFL career literally right in front of him. He can see it. It's right there. And yeah, he has nothing to lose by coming out and saying this. Please. Please, why would he be honest? Why would you even believe that he would be honest in this type of situation? What he did was disgusting. I'm going to believe the girl 10 times out of 10, and they clearly did not even take it seriously. They barely investigated the situation. Barely. I don't care if he gave his 5-page account. It could be the most creative 5-page account he's ever dreamed of, okay? Does not mean it's legit.
I think there's some bias coming from you, which is understandable. I mean, as a girl, you're going to naturally side with the girl. I completely get it, but we don't know all the details. And at the end of the day, the charge are dropped. Jameis Winston's good, and he will go on to have an NFL career, unless more stuff comes up and it's brought back up. But I doubt it. I mean, it's been going on for months, and if they couldn't find anything to say you violated the code of conduct then it's likely that nothing's going to happen now.
Did we not just talk about Ray Rice? There is video proof that he beat his wife, and yet still, that investigation was a 5-minute investigation, and now he's back allowed in the NFL. It is not about the event itself. It is about who these people are and how they are viewed as prominent in society. Because, please, we saw the video. We saw the video.
The Ray Rice.
I believe this is such a similar situation, and it's not because I'm a girl. It's because I have a brain and I have eyes, and I can see that these guys can get away with everything. And I mean, they do it in the NFL. They're doing it in basketball. They're doing it in college. They're doing it in anything. If maybe he was the third-string quarterback, it'd be a different story. But he was the Heisman-winning quarterback with a national championship ring. That is what changed the story.
And I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. It's unfortunate. I mean, you and I have differing opinions, but as you said, he is the Heisman-winning quarterback. He did get them a national championship, so of course they're going to want to do all they can to ensure that nothing happens to him legally. But I'm going to have to take an indifferent viewpoint. I'm going to have to say that if there were things to prove he did what he was accused of, then he would have gotten charged for it. So. It's unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do. We can argue and go back and forth, but at the end of the day, he's free, and the authorities said so.
It's disgusting. I'm going to talk about some college basketball. Got to talk about the fact that Texas is still, after that loss to Kentucky, still winning, still undefeated. You got the top team still doing their thing. College basketball is about to officially start heating up, after the New Year's, kind of when the in-conference play starts, so stay tuned because it's about to be a fun year. And then we have to talk about NBA. I just talked about Kobe. Lakers still struggling. Actually played Armand's Thunder the other night. Barely lost. Barely. My boy Kobe missed a last-second shot to win the game, and I'm not going to hold it against him, but that's kind of how our year is going. And Kevin Durant is out again tonight with an injury. It's horrible. I'm so sick of these injuries. I've said it a billion times. This is seriously the year of the injury because everyone's hurt, but just hoping everyone bounces back. The other night I was actually at the Spurs-Blazers game, my first NBA game, and it actually went to triple overtime. And on the way there I was saying I'm still so bitter towards Damian Lillard after what he did to the Rockets in the playoffs, a last-second three-pointer to win, and therefore Dwight and his Rockets did not continue on in the playoffs, and of course, my Lakers were not in the playoffs, so my only hope was the Rockets. Damian Lillard did it again, okay? And I knew it. There was only a few seconds left in regulation, and I turned to my friend, I said, inbound to Damian Lillard, he's going to shoot the three, send this into overtime, and then he did it. Damian Lillard does not get enough credit. Going to the season, I said 2 teams to watch for, Trailblazers and Warriors, and I was right. Both those teams are on fire, and Damian Lillard is Mr. Clutch. I mean, he did it in every overtime that was during that game against the Spurs, against the reigning champions. I mean, the Spurs are not an easy team to beat, and Damian Lillard had 43 points. I mean, went off in this game, and he's an incredible player, and you are just going to see more and more of him as the years go on because this guy knows how to play and he does it well.
Yeah, Damian Lillard. He came into the NBA his first season turning heads. I'd never heard of the guy, and I watched one game. I'm like, who is this kid? And then I see him on ESPN, all over ESPN. Last year, he did the same thing, got better. Everyone talked about how he participated in the 5 All-Star events. Like he's getting better every year, and the Blazers are looking like they're going to be a force, which they are. But the Western Conference is very, very tight. I mean, we have OKC, despite the injuries, but we got Russell Westbrook looking like he's trying to win the MVP this season. He's holding it down for OKC right now. And then the Mavericks made a huge move, picking up Rajon Rondo after trading away Jameer Nelson, Brandon Wright, and someone whose name I forget because they're irrelevant. But Rondo's first game, Monte Ellis had 38 points. Rondo he put on a passing clinic. Like the Mavericks were a very good team coming into this season with having picked up Chandler Parsons, gotten Tyson Chandler back. Now that they have Rajon Rondo at point guard, they have a great passer. They have Monte Ellis and Chandler Parsons, who are good shooters and good scorers. Dirk Nowitzki, who's a great shooter, great scorer. Tyson Chandler, who's a great post defender. They really have the recipe for success. I mean, as I said, the West is very tight. The Spurs still exist. The Rockets exist. The Blazers exist. The Warriors are looking great. But yeah, the Mavericks are really trying to make a push for the championship ring. So.
Oh, I mean, it was a great move by the Mavs, and I'm jealous. I think we talked about it one episode that Kobe and Rondo were seen like getting coffee together or something, and then the little rumors came. Ooh, Rondo to the Lakers. I wish he came. I wish. But the Mavs are stacked now. Dirk Nowitzki is the lowest paid player in that starting lineup, which is ridiculous. But Rondo, I mean, he's going to make a difference. He's a great player. R.I.P. to the Celtics we once knew. Rondo got left there, and then now he's gone. I mean, I would be surprised if anybody even spoke of the Celtics again after this. Great move. We got to talk about James Harden on the Rockets. He is going off. I mean, he is having 40-point games. He's really dominating this year. As you said, the Rockets are a great team. It's going to be fun. I mean, we got the Christmas Day games are always so fun. I believe the Thunder are actually going to San Antonio on Christmas, so that could be a fun game. Hopefully we got KD back in the lineup because, I mean, nobody wants to see Thunders versus Spurs without Kevin Durant. Everyone wants to see it with Kevin Durant. So I'm loving this NBA season despite my horrible Lakers. But everybody else is really keeping me entertained, and it's only going to get better, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, a couple more Christmas games to look out for. We got the very, very bad New York Knicks taking a trip to play the Washington Wizards, who are looking phenomenal this year. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers playing LeBron's old team, the Miami Heat. That should be a very good game. We got Joe's Lakers playing against the Bulls. Sorry, that you'll probably have a very bad Christmas. And then we got the Warriors taking on the Clippers. So Christmas Day is always very exciting. We got some very exciting games, some very exciting stories.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to be glued to that TV. Warriors, Clippers, yes. And I expect the Miami Heat to show LeBron this is what you left behind. I think this is going to be a game where D. Wade and Bosh are going to go off. And I think it's going to be fun because the Heat look a lot better than the Cavs do right now. The Cavs are still trying to, get all their stuff together. And as far as the Lakers playing the Bulls, yeah. All I can say is, yeah, hey, maybe we'll shock everybody because we almost beat your Thunder, okay? We get close. We just don't do that extra push, which you kind of need. But it's going to be a very, very Merry Christmas, that's for sure, because we have NBA, and what more do you need on Christmas? So I think that's all we got for today. We will see you. I have no idea when we're going to start doing the show over break, but we'll see you next week. Have a Merry Christmas, and let's hope somehow the Colts beat the Cowboys today because I want my Eagles in the playoffs. Thanks for tuning in.